So we're going to create a quick form tool. This isn't going to be exact as there are features that are missing in the link that you provided. So we'll just do the best we can. We're going to cheat a little bit and import a canvas and just do a quick mock-up. So I've taken a screenshot on my other monitor of the round over bit that you want to model. So we're going to insert a canvas and we're going to find it. So right there. And we're going to place it on this face here. So we're just going to eyeball it. That looks good. And now we want to do a calibrate to get it to scale properly. So the overall length on the tool is 3.5 inches. Is that correct? Let's see, we have B plus D. B is 1 inch and D is 1.5 inches. So that is 2 inches. So 2 point. And then we're just going to edit the canvas and bring it into, again, by eyeball. This isn't going to be exact. You're going to get a lot better results measuring your tool with a caliper. Also, the information provided gives us a radius of one size, which is 3/16, and then it gives us, so there's a small r here and a big R there. So they don't, one of them is not stated. I'm guessing that this is the 3/16 because this is obviously much bigger. Now we're going to create a sketch. Let's turn off our origin. And so we have, it is to B. B is 1 inch, so 1 point. So you can see already that our scale is off. I'm not liking that calibration. So let's go back to recalibrate. And so from here to here is 1 inch. It's better. It's not perfect, but it gives us an indication of whether we're on the right track or not. All right, so now we're going to give it a C of 0.375. So it's obviously not a 3/8 radius, so let's go with 0.5. That looks actually pretty darn close. Again, it's not going to be accurate because you're going to need to provide some further information. So give this a horizontal constraint. I'm going to apply a point here. Apply a horizontal vertical. We cannot. There we go. And so now we can move this circle back and forth. Now we can apply a dimension according to your image. A is 1.25 inches, so let's go 1.25 divided by 2. So according to the math in the image, this isn't the exact part that you're working with, because A, which would be here, is supposed to be 1.25 inches, and 1.25 inches divided by 2 is 5/8. So this is a reference only canvas. So again, we don't have accurate data for what this is, so I'm just basically guessing. Let's do a tangent constraint there. Let's do a coincident. No, I don't like that because that's gonna, oh, there we go, that'll work. Let's give this an angle. I don't know what the angle is, so hopefully you have more information. 25 degrees sounds good. Now notice how these two entities are still blue. That means we can change them around and all that jazz. I don't know what it physically is, so let's just say that this is 150. You won't be able to get an accurate measurement on this with your caliper, but you can get pretty darn close. You can get a somewhat accurate measurement from the root of here to the root of the other side, so we can work with that. If you have a set of gauge pins, you can measure the radius here, or you can, if you have access to like a radius gauge chart or an optical comparator would be the best. So we're just going to throw a dimension on this. Let's go with 150. No, that's not right. Let's go with 125. Oops. That's closer, but doesn't seem right. But then again, this is a reference image, so this could just be guessing on my part. And now we're just going to give it an overall length, and that's supposed to be 0.25 because it's a half-inch shank. There we go. Let's give this a dimension. 1.5. Yeah, so everything about the image is wrong. Let's do a trim. Right, so now we're back to having blue entities because I can do all of this with it, and I don't like that. So let's give it a dimension of here, and that would be dimension B of 1 inch. Now everything's gone back to black. Let's trim that off. So let's turn off this canvas. So now we have a form tool. Well, the profile of a form tool. Let's hop over into manufacture and create form mill. Tool profile, tool axis. There's supposed to be an arrow showing that we've selected the proper axis, so hopefully someday we'll fix that. Let's take a look at our tool library, and our form mill is right there. So everything on this part is considered to be flute, so we would have to do some editing to it. Flute length, 1 point. So now everything here is flute. We can shorten that up even further by going to here. And that's not enough. 0.85. There we go. We need to apply some speeds and feeds to it. Everything defaults to 0. 2000 RPM. Feed rate of 20. 20. 100. Okay. Now let's do let's go back to design and let's create a profile so we can actually cut this. We're going to create a new sketch, and I'm just going to project these lines here. Let's turn off this sketch. There we go. Actually, let's do this. Let's delete this and this. Let's do an extrude. Okay. Manufacture. Let's create a setup. That looks good. Let's add no additional stock. And we're going to create a 2D contour. We're going to select that form tool. So now we can see our 3D version of the tool. And we need to select a contour. I'm going to just start by, so I've pressed the Alt key, and I'm just going to select this. I'm not sure what it's going to give me for a toolpath. It may be wrong, may be right. I don't think it's correct. Depends where it's driving its. Let's take a look at the simulation again. Program point. So it's programming it to this. So if we give it a stock to leave, it won't let me do that. That's too much. How much is it? Let's go to this. 375. I think it's creating the comp point right down there. Still too much. There we go. And there you have it. We could have avoided that if I'd have done this. Let's go back to the sketch and let's create a point right here. Let's apply a vertical and horizontal constraint. We can still move this way, so let's select this and then select this and then coincident. There we go. Hop back into manufacture. Let's turn off the body. Let's turn off that sketch. Let's create another form mill. Tool profile. Tool axis. Compensation point is right there. Now if we hop into the tool library, this should give us, does it give us anything different? It really doesn't. So I'd have to play around with that a little bit more. But this gives you the general idea of how to create a form tool, how to create a toolpath, and play with the stock to leave to get it to simulate correctly and produce